Today is Sunday, 4th of May 2025. On Friday, I taught the immediate benefits that the yogis can enjoy. And I taught the two types of enemies: internal enemy, external enemy, more danger enemy, less danger enemy, near enemy and far enemy. And they are the enemy in form of unwholesomeness and enemy in person. And I talk how mindfulness purifies the mind by protecting the mind stream. So today I will talk about the impurities, defilements. Before talking about the impurities, since we have new yogis, meditators today, so I would like to do a brief revision so that new yogis will get some information and old yogis will recollect the talks that I have already given. This morning we gave you instruction how to do sitting meditation, how to practice sitting meditation, how to practice walking meditation, and how to practice in daily activities. We mentioned the objects to be observed, and to observe those objects, two mental qualities, two mental factors are required: aiming factor and mental energy. After sitting, when you are about to observe expansion and contraction of abdomen, rising and falling, you have to aim. You have to direct your mind towards the abdomen. Meanwhile, you have to apply energy which propels your mind towards the abdomen or towards the object. Again, when you aim, you have to aim accurately. And when you apply energy, have to apply sufficient energy so that your mind can approach to the meditative object. So in sitting, the first object to observe is abdomen. You have to aim to abdomen, to belly, and you have to propel your mind by being active, by being energetic, by application of ordained energy. Then your observing mind hits the target and you can see clearly rising and falling, and you can note rising as rising, falling as falling. Again, to observe next rising, next falling, you apply another energy, another aiming mental quality. Then to observe next rising, next falling. In this way, to observe continuously you have to keep aiming and applying energy. And when mind wanders, when thinking thoughts become obvious, now you have to aim to those thinking thoughts, planning, and so on. You aim to those mental phenomena. Again, apply energy and note thinking as thinking, planning as planning, aiming at planning as planning, thoughts as thoughts, memory as memory, and so on. Then return back to abdomen and aim back to abdomen, note rising, falling. When bodily sensations become obvious, you have to aim to that location where sensation is obvious. If it is on knee, then you have to aim to knee. If it is on head, then you have to aim on head. So where the sensation is, you have to aim that location. You have to aim that sensation, let's say. You have to aim to that sensation and not just aiming, but applying energy. Then note as it is. If walking meditation, to observe the steps. If you move right step, then have to aim towards the right step. If it is left step, you have to aim towards the left step. Again, apply energy. Then only you can see clearly, you can see precisely the movements. Then only you will be able to observe from beginning to the end. So to observe beginning to the end of the movements, you have to aim, you have to target, and have to apply sufficient energy and note right step as right, left step as left, lifting as lifting, dropping as dropping, and so on. And when you perform daily activities, if you move right hand, you have to aim to right hand. If you move left hand, you have to aim to left hand. So aim to that bodily part which is functioning and apply mental energy, then note as it is. So in this way, by application of accurate aiming and sufficient energy, we observe the presently arising object. Without these two mental factors, you can't observe the object. If you don't have accurate aiming, if you don't have sufficient energy, you can't observe. You can't observe presently arising object. You can't develop mindfulness. So to observe or to develop mindfulness, you need accurate aiming and ardent energy. If you apply repeatedly, continuously, accurate aiming and sufficient energy, then they will permit to develop mindfulness. By application of continuous accurate aiming and sufficient energy permits to develop mindfulness. And when mindfulness develops, mindfulness protects your mind. Mindfulness guards your mind. Mindfulness takes care of mind stream by not admitting unwholesomenesses or defilements, by blocking, by defensing, by blocking and by defensing unwholesomenesses and defilements. Mindfulness keeps your mind free from defilements or unwholesomenesses. In this way, your mind becomes free from defilements, from internal energy, internal enemy, from dangerous enemy. So this is what I have been talking about. That's why all the yogis, you have to apply accurate aiming and sufficient energy to observe the presently arising object. And then mindfulness develops. And then there will be the purification of the mind. And when mindfulness develops and mindfulness gets momentum, then concentration develops, samadhi develops, and samadhi, concentration dispels kilesas, defilements momentarily, because the samadhi you develop by practicing vipassana meditation is khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, and that momentary concentration dispel obsessive kilesas momentarily. So that is what I am talking these days. So now it is time to talk about the defilements, impurities. In Pali we call kilesa, defilements. Defilements are the mental states which defile the mind, that pollute the mind, that impure the mind. Means when defilements are present, mind become polluted. mind become defiled. Not only mind, but mental factors co-arising, mental factors also become defiled and polluted. Not just become polluted, but disgusting as well. But becomes disgusting. Defilements are like feces. Defilements are as disgusting as feces, bodily waste. As you know, bodily waste is quite disgusting, quite dirty. It is dirty by itself, and it can pollute or it can make disgusting odors as well. Defilements are disgusting by themselves and make odors defile and disgusting. Lobe, greed is disgusting by itself. And when greed arises, mind also become disgusting, polluted. Physicalities and or bodily actions, verbal actions, mental actions become polluted and disgusting. That is why kilesas, defilements, are defined as mental states that defile the mind. Here mainly mentioned as mind, but not only mind, but bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions as well. As I just mentioned, defilements are as dirty and disgusting as feces. We avoid feces from a distance because it's dirty, disgusting. Those people who are in doubt, who have lots of defilements, people avoid them from a distance because they are dirty, because they are disgusting. A person having lots of anger, a person having lots of greed, we avoid that person because he is polluted, he is disgusting. So no matter how good dress we put on, how good makeup we put on, if we have defilements, we still looks not, we still look not good. We still look disgusting because of defilements. Because of defilements. Here she might be committing bodily unwholesome actions, verbal unwholesome actions, mental unwholesome action because of kilesas. his or her bodily, verbal, and mental actions are disgusting. They look disgusting indeed because you have seen the person who is angry. At times his face becomes red. In our body, there are many physicalities arise due to the mind and mental factors. There are many physicalities and mentalities arise due to mind and mental factors. So that's why when anger is present, anger is there, his or her face turn into red, becomes red. That is physicality generated by mentality. That is why we can say by bodily, by body language, we can read the mind. If your mind is pure, your body become pure. If your mind is dirty, your bodily behavior, your bodily language become dirty and disgusting. But if your mind is pure, your bodily, verbal, and mental actions become pure and clean. So by practicing meditation, we try to purify our mind. And when mind becomes pure, physicalities become pure. That is how we looks good. Practicing meditation is beautifying oneself. You don't need any cosmetics, you don't need any makeups. Natural beautification. Natural beautification. Because mind reflects on face. Or in the way of Dhamma, we say mentalities generates the physicalities. There are many mentalities, there are many physicalities generated by mind and mental factors. And that is why by practicing meditation we can cure diseases. By practicing meditation, mind and mental factors become clean, and the physicalities generated by mind and mentalities become clean, pure. Body and blood become clean, pure. Clean blood circulates in our body. Not only blood, but other physical aspects. Physical things become clean and pure. And that is how we cure the diseases. You might have heard many practitioners have cured those diseases which couldn't cure by medicine. So this is how By purification of the mind, body also become pure. Or body means physical, verbal, and mental actions become pure. But when defilements, impurities are there, they are polluted by themselves and make mind and mental factors, including physicalities, make polluted. Defilements are disgusting by themselves and make mind, mental factors, and physicalities disgusting. This is the first meaning of defilements. Second meaning of defilements. Defilements are the mental states that burn up or heat up the mind and other mental factors. That is why we feel burning. That is why we feel heated when we have kilesas. Although we are sitting in the air-conditioned room, still we feel burning because kilesas, impurities, defilements are present. Defilements are present. Your mind become heated, your body become heated. It is quite obvious when anger is present, we feel heat in our body. But in fact, not only anger causes the heat, but other defilements, whether it is greed, whether it is illusion, delusion, conceit, doubt, they also cause heat in our body. Yogis, meditators will experience that. When kilesas, defilements become present in your mind, even the minor subtle defilements, you will feel heat in your body. How those defilements produce heat in your body. So you will experience that. So this is the second meaning of defilements, kilesa. The third meaning mentioned in the text, defilements are those mental states which torture or torment. We feel at times tortured, tormented, suffocated. We feel stress. We feel pain. We suffer because of the defilements. Because of the defilements. Because defilements has that potency. This is the third meaning. The fourth meaning mentioned in the text, defilements are those mental states which cause exertion, which cause tiredness. When kilesas are present, we feel exhausted, tired. We feel energyless. We feel energyless, powerless. So this is the fourth meaning. These are the main four meanings mentioned in the text of kilesa, defilements, but still, according to the natures of kilesas, defilements, we can add some more, like defilements are those which conceal the true nature, which conceal the true nature. That's why we don't know the reality. We even can't discriminate what is good to do and what is not good to do, what is wholesome, unwholesome, what brings good results, what does not bring good results, but bad results. Because our mind is concealed by defilements, especially the Four Noble Truths. Our mind is concealed by kilesas. We don't know what is suffering, the truth of suffering. We don't know the cause of sufferings. We don't know the liberation free from sufferings, the state of free from sufferings, or liberation, or nibbana. And we don't know the path that leads to the liberation. Our mind is concealed by the defilements. This is the another meaning of defilements. Again, defilements are the mental state that make our mind weak, that weaken our mind. They are like virus. They are like virus or infections. Because of what? Our mind becomes weak. When you have to face the 8 holy conditions, your mind cannot handle, because mind is weak. There are 8 holy conditions. First is gain, and second is loss. Sometimes you gain, you get what you want. But sometimes you lose. You don't get what you want. Even you lose what you have. There is no always gain, and there is no always loss as well. Gain is there, and loss is there in our life. Then praise and blame. At times you get praised, and at times you get blamed. So praise and blame are there, opposite to each other. Loss, gain and loss are opposite, and praise and blame are opposite. Then fame and disgrace is there. Fame and disgrace are there. Sometimes you have fame, sometimes decrease. And finally, happiness and suffering are there. At times, pleasure, pleasurable conditions are there, but at times, discomfort, sufferings are there in our life. These are ups and downs of life. Everyone has to face. Nobody can escape from these eight worldly conditions. That's why called Loka Dhamma. Loka Dhamma, eight worldly conditions. Everyone has to confront. So when you confront these eight worldly conditions, when your mind is weak, you can't deal. Your mind is not strong enough to confront. That is how, and that is when you suffer. That is when you suffer, and that is why you get mental problems, because you can't handle, you can't deal, you can't confront. Your mind is not strong enough to confront these worldly conditions. Mind is so weak, so tender. So that's why the defilements are mental states that make mind weak. This is the another definition. And defilements are those which make our mind frustrated, irritated, agitated, panic, and calmless, no peaceful, restless, violent, cruel, so on. So many. These all are due to the defilements. So in very simple way, defilements are the cause of sufferings. Defilements are cause of sufferings, cause of physical and mental sufferings. So these are the definitions of kilesa or defilements. That is why we are here. That is why we are here to practice meditation. Defilements are disgusting. We want to purify. Defilements torment, torture. We don't want to be tormented and tortured. Defilements make exhausted, tired, fatigued. We don't want to be exhausted, tired, fatigued. Defilements burn up, heat up. We don't want to be heated up, burnt up. Defilements make us weak. We don't want to remain weak. We want to be strong. No matter what we have to face in our life, we want to face with strong mind. We don't want agitation, frustration, irritation, panic, being panicked. We don't want to be cruel, violent. We want to be cultured. We want to be lovable. When your mind becomes pure, clean, you become lovable, you become cultured, you become gentle, you will enjoy peace and calm. There are basically 10 kilesas, defilements. You might be familiar with these 10 kilesas. Number 1, lobha, greed. Lobha in Pali is greed. Greed has the nature of gluing, attaching, not releasing, sticking to pleasing object. It glues or it sticks on pleasing object, not on pleasing object. It sticks on pleasing object and it does not release, non-releasing. It's like a borderline. You might have heard about borderline. Borderline is the substance generally used to trap birds. It is smeared on the branches or the twigs of the trees and upon which birds may land and be caught. Once a playful monkey, while playing, accidentally his hand lands upon the borderline and his hand stalks. So to pull away his own hand, he used another hand. But another hand also stalks. So again he used his right leg, then left leg to pull away. But his legs also stalks in hopes that he can pull away by using his mouth. He used his mouth, but mouth also remains stuck. Then finally he used his whole body, but body also remains stuck. So this is the metaphor given to explain the nature of the greed, the gluing nature, the sticky nature of greed. When greed is present, our mind sticks on pleasing object. And we can't pull away. We can't pull away because it attaches. It does not release the pleasing object. And this greed, no matter in whose mind it's arising, whether it's in human mind or whether it's in animal mind, it has same nature. It does not change. That is why we call ultimate truth. If is in your mind, it also has the nature of gluing, sticking. If the greed is in the mind of dog, then it also has the nature of gluing, sticking. It doesn't change. If it is in the mind of the mosquito, the small mosquito, in his mind also gluing nature. So that's why mind, mentalities, natures never change. Ultimate truths, they are ultimate truths. So in this way, greed has nature of sticking or gluing. The second defilement is dosa, anger. Anger has nature of ferocity. Then third one is moha in Pali, illusion or delusion, having nature of not knowing. The fourth one is mana. Mana, conceit, has the nature of oughtness. It has nature of oughtness. Fifth one is ditti, wrong view. It has nature of unwise interpretation. Unwise interpretation. The sixth one is vicikiccha, doubt. It has nature of doubting. Uncertainty as well. The seventh one is tina, sloth. Sloth has nature of sluggishness. Sluggishness is the nature of sloth. Number 8 is the uddhacca, restlessness, and the nature of restlessness is restlessness. The ninth one is ahiri. Ahiri, lack of moral shame. It has the nature of shamelessness while performing misconducts. While you perform misconducts, because of shamelessness. So that is lack of moral shame. And finally, the last one is ahiri, lack of moral fear. Being fearless when conducting misconducts, bodily, verbally, mentally. So basically, there are 10 defilements. There are 10 defilements. But we can elaborate in 1,500. It is mentioned in the text. I will try to explain very briefly so that you can understand how 10 kilesas or defilements become 1,500. So there are mental factors. Mental factors are those which arise together with mind. There are altogether 52 mental factors. I repeat, 52 mental factors. Let's add mind, then mentalities become 53. These all mentalities can be the objects of the defilements. For example, when you meditate, you have bad memory. When you have bad memory, that bad memory can be the object of anger. You become angry. If you have good memory, that could be the reason of greed. So, memory can be the cause of anger also, greed also. Similarly, that memory can be the reason or cause of other defilements. So this is just the example that mind and mental factors are also the objects of defilements, are objects of defilements. Then there are 22 physical objects, phenomena, which can be the objects of defilements, or due to what defilements can arise, like visible object. Visible object. If visible object is pleasing, greed may arise. If visible object is not pleasing, then anger may arise, illusion may arise, conceit may arise, wrong view, doubt, sloth, restlessness, moral shame, a lack of moral shame, moral fear. All these 10 kilesas or defilements may arise by visible objects. Similarly, by audible objects and so on. So in this way, this is just the example, in this way there are 22 physical objects due to what defilements can arise or can be the objects of defilements. So 53 mentalities and 22 physicalities. If you add, it becomes 75. 75 objects of defilements. Now you multiply by internal objects and external objects. So it becomes 150. Now you have to multiply 150 objects by 10 kilesas. It becomes 1,500. I'm explaining this to let you know that how much kilesas, defilements we have, you have. And they are arising. They are mostly arising when you are not mindful. They are mostly there. On Friday, I mentioned within a second, millions and billions of mind arise and pass away. So just imagine if within a second, millions of billions of mind are arising and passing away, then when you are not mindful, how many kilesas arise in your mind? How much your mind become impure, polluted, disgusting, and then how much your mind become weak. That is why our mind is so weak. There is no energy at all. That is why, again we can say, that is why we suffer. That is why sufferings are there. Because of having so much numerous kilesas in our mind. And when we are not mindful, kilesas are piling up at each moment, each moment. They keep piling up in our mind stream. So this much kilesas or impurities or defilements are there in our mind stream. So we are here to give no chance, to those defilements which haven't arisen yet, and to dispel, to destroy, to eliminate those defilements which have already arisen in our mind stream, and to dispel those defilements. Ordinary energy, ordinary mindfulness, ordinary concentration is not sufficient, not enough. You need strong energy. That is why ardent energy. You need a strong mindfulness. You need a strong concentration, and you need strong wisdom. So you need to try harder. You have to do hard working every moment. Each and every second you have to do hard working so that you can destroy those kilesas, and you can develop mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom to dispel, to destroy those kilesas. And I believe all the yogis will try hard, will give their best in order to dispel, destroy those kilesas. And I believe you all are here because you want to be free from these kilesas and to be from sufferings and to enjoy the genuine happiness. So I wish may you all be able to try your best in order to develop strong mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. And by development of mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, may you be able to destroy the kilesa. May you be able to prevent or to not to give rooms for those kilesas which haven't arisen yet, and may you be able to destroy the kilesas which have already arisen, and by destroying kilesas, may you all be able to enjoy the genuine happiness.